Okay, so this video is to explain what is RIR, how to use first set RIR, and some of the benefits with using RIR. Okay, so RIR stands for reps in reserve. Okay, so 0 RIR means max effort, which means a set has been taken to failure and you could not have performed any more reps. Okay, 1 RIR means 1 rep short of failure. 2 RIR means 2 reps short of failure. 3 RIR means 3 reps short of failure, and so on and so forth. Okay, if you have previously used RPE, then you'll see that 0 RIR correlates with 10 RPE, 1 RIR correlates with a 9 RPE, 2 RIR, 2 reps in reserve, correlates with 8 RPE, and so on and so forth. Okay. So by using RIR, right, it gives us a way to gauge how close we are from failure with each set, because we know that each set needs to be effortful enough. It needs to be have a certain closeness to failure in order for it to be stimulative or effective towards hypertrophy. Okay. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about how to use first set RIR. So in this example that you can see, right, for this exercise, for the neutral grip pull down, it says here to do 4 sets for between 7 to 9 reps, taking approximately 2 minutes rest between each set, and a first set RIR of 2. Okay. So for example, right, you take 40 kg and you manage 7 reps. You take 40 kg and you manage to complete 7 reps at 2 RIR. This means that you could have done 9 reps, but you stopped at 7 because you need to keep 2 reps in reserve. And then after resting for about approximately 2 minutes, you take 40 kg again, and this time you got another 7 reps. Now maybe this time, right, when you did 7 reps, you had your RIR was 1. This is because so when you complete 7 reps for the second set, your RIR may have been be 1 this time because of the fatigue accumulated from the first set. Now remember that the rep range for this exercise is 7 to 9, right? So, and you got 7 reps at approximately 1 RIR in your second set. So you're not sure if you're able to get at least 7 reps in your third set. So what do? You drop the weights to 38, and after resting 2 minutes, you did 38 for 9 reps, and maybe this could have been an RIR 0 where you hit failure, which is completely fine. So basically, first set RIR. So basically, what first set RIR does is that it helps you set the weights and reps that you will be using for that day based off your first set RIR, and then you adjust set 2, set 3, and maybe even and set 4 if that is what is prescribed for the day. Okay. Now one of the good things about RIR is that it allows you to auto-regulate based on that day's preparedness. Okay. So let me illustrate an example of this. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. So for example, right, on a day where you had good sleep, you are low stress, maybe your nutrition is really on point that day, you go to the gym, and then when you take 40 kg, you are able to hit 8 reps for a first set RIR of 2. Okay. So again, this means that you did 8 reps when you could have done 10 reps. After resting sufficiently, you managed to get another 8 reps, and after resting enough, get another 8 reps. So as you can see from like week 1 to week 2, right? There's some sort of progression in terms of weights used. You can see in the final set and also in the reps you completed. And then perhaps like you see in week 3, right, where perhaps it wasn't a very good day. You had a lot of stress with school or work, or you didn't sleep enough, or you didn't eat enough that day, and things aren't going so well. So perhaps for that day, right, when you did your neutral grip pull down, you managed to only get 7 reps at a RIR of 2 for your first set, and then you had to drop weights for your second set and your third set in order to stay within the rep range of 7 to 9. And you may have even hit failure at 38 for 8 reps in your third set, which if you compare to week 2 is so-called a decrease in performance. So in a way, that is the beauty of auto-regulation, is that it adapts to that day's level of preparedness. It takes advantage of good days to make progress and make sure like you don't overexert yourself on days with low preparedness, which can hamper recovery and stall progress in the long term. Okay, and the other good thing about using RIR is that it accommodates to an individual's rate of progression. So some people progress faster than others, and the more experience you get with training, right, your rate of progress also will tend to slow down. So in this example on the right over here, let me highlight this, yeah. Right, so you can see it says here 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps at the first set RIR of 2. So you can see that okay, in week 1, right, the person does this example shows 40 kg at 9 reps, and then so it's a first set. So this is a 2 RIR, and 40 kg was a 2 RIR for week 2 and also for week 3 before finally being able to add a rep in week 4, and then here there's also faster progression and then increasing the load in week 5. So yeah, that's the other good thing about RIR, that it takes into account each individual's rate of progression, and a weight can be stimulative for multiple sessions before having to increase the reps or the load. Yeah, so I think using RIR is a better overall way to make progress. Instead of the more traditional way of like arbitrarily forcing progression by always having to add loads or add reps at a fixed schedule, like every session have to add 1 rep to each set, or that you need to add 2.5 kg to a certain exercise like every other session. And then because you have to keep like you keep pushing and forcing progress to happen, right, this can lead to accumulating a lot of fatigue, and then you will end up having to deload very frequently. And yeah, I would think you might end up spending less time making progress in the long term. So with learning to use RIR allows for more individualization and allows you to train and progress at your own pace. So yeah, I know if you're new to using RIR, it might seem a bit like very vague and confusing at first, but I think like the more you use it and practice it, right, you'll be able to gauge more accurately how many reps you have in reserve. And yeah, and it's a useful tool to have in your pocket if you really want to make progress with your strength training in the long term. Okay, thank you.